Along the historic Route 395, amongst the backdrop of the High Sierras, we spot a stark wooden guard tower. This marks one of the darkest chapters in North American history. An infamous camp where roughly 10,000 people of Japanese ancestry were corralled during World War II. Let's take a closer look at what remains of this site. So we are viewing a part of history that doesn't really get talked about too much. This is the time period during the early 40s after Pearl Harbor. A number of Japanese Americans, they were in these camps here. And they faced a lot of suspicion because of their ethnicity. And life out here was pretty desolate, it looks like.
We're at Manzanar. It's a historical monument and it's on the Eastern Sierra. This housed over 10,000 Japanese American people during World War II. They were interned by the government. We learned a lot of stuff. Obviously, it's a sad place. One of the things that we learned was that they irrigated the fields here and they grew all of their own food and vegetables. And they were trying to be self-sufficient in this area, but obviously they went through hard times. We're here in the middle of winter. It's the middle of February and there's a biting cold wind. It's just above freezing. So we can only imagine what the families went through being here all those years. You know, it also gets really hot here during the summer. So it's been a big educational experience about how we can all do better.
This is a memorial to the Japanese internment camps who lived right here. This was their barracks. And then you see the backdrop here, one of the most iconic shots of California, Mount Whitney in the background, the Sierras. It's just so desolate out here. And it's interesting to see this historic site in the middle of nowhere. This right here is the watchtower, because the Japanese, they weren't allowed to go off base. So they kept close watch on the Japanese American people. So here's a depiction of what life was like there, and they reconstructed a basketball court. It's so interesting to see it right here. Here you go, you can see what it was like for the Japanese people here. I wonder if I can, what's in there? Can we see? I don't think we can see. There's an old Ford truck here, and then behind us are the men's halls and the areas where they did laundry and things like that. They had 10,000 people here. It's like a little community. Look at this. Look how big it was. All kinds of barracks. Oh my gosh, they even had a tofu factory, a fish market. This was pretty interesting. It has a sample breakfast menu and lunch menu here at the mess hall. Let's see, kind of basic. And here's all the people lining up for food. So we're out here in front of the mess hall. This was the old school style dinner alarm. They would ring that in the morning, and they had a number of incarcerated Japanese Americans here following the bombing of Hawaii. Imagine just living out here in the middle of nowhere like this in the 40s. Definitely an enlightening visit, something definitely worth seeing on your road trip up to the High Sierras. We hope this video was thought-provoking and gave you a chance to learn about this chapter of history. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button, share with your friends, and subscribe for many more travel videos.